Welcome back to the Triple Scoop. I am here, Matt, and then Diana's also here,
Hello.
and Greg is also here.
What up?
Okay. So it is episode 2. Last time we talked about travel, places we like to travel, places we have traveled, things like that, and I think that went pretty well. And today we are going to. It's about mid-August right now, and it's almost back to school time. So we thought it'd be fun to do a topic on back to school.
Yes.
And school stories and kind of some of the things that happened and we experienced in school. So, there you go. School.
I remember one of the most nostalgic things that I think from now and back when I was in school, graduated in 2005, so it hasn't been a significant amount of time, but it's been a good amount of time. We used to pass our what are those calculators, like the big calculators?
The Texas, whatever.
No, they're called something.
Yeah.
Scientific calculator?
Yeah.
Maybe that's just what I called them.
I don't know if you were listen to the last episode when we talked about Matt having ADD. So.
And potentially other mental hurdles.
There were ones where you can you could do formulas and stuff, but you could also type
I swear it's a scientific calculator. I'm
Googling scientific
it.
calculator, but that's how we would pass messages along to each other
No
in
joke.
classes. Be like, "Do you need my calculator?"
Mm.
And instead of texting each other, because really that wasn't until my senior year. That wasn't a thing. It was texting each other in school.
You remember spelling boobs on your calculator?
Oh yeah.
100%. And it is a scientific
Is it?
calculator. Look at that.
How about that?
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, that thing.
I remember
yeah.
texting in school with the T9 word.
Oh
I was
gosh.
so good I could do it in my pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Maintain eye contact.
God, those were the days, man. I could reply anything you want. God, now it's all touchscreen and it's whatever.
Yeah.
No, I remember going back. I mean, in the spirit of going back to school, that's when you usually knew summer was over. When your mom's like, "All right, be ready when I get home. We're gonna go to Shopko or Target or whatever."
And you just want to go play in traffic.
Yeah, and it's that's the day. That's the day you were supposed to do something cool to
the fun ends.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's oh, we're going here and we're gonna get your pencils, we're gonna get your notebooks, and we're gonna get this and that, and you try to get something with a superhero on it or something like that. But
see, that's where That's where we differ, because getting my school supplies was my favorite time of year, and it was my favorite thing in the world. Getting a brand new folder, a binder, notebooks, fresh pencils. That's my happy place.
Why did I marry her?
I think we talked about it in the first episode. I think she introduced herself as your first wife. So.
Well, that's about to become a prophecy. I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't, because the summer was much better.
I hated school.
See, as I got older, I liked school. And I liked summer more, but I still liked school.
Well, people didn't want to hang out with you outside. So.
What do you mean? How did you know my friends?
Yeah, you're quote unquote.
Have you been in contact with them? No, honestly, in high school, I loved being at school, because I said in the first episode I was very social. Yeah. I didn't really do very good at school, but that's because
you love the social aspect of school.
I'm not built to be a bookworm, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm built to just talk to people and make jokes and stuff like that. And so that aspect of school got me really excited every year, and so I was like, yay, woohoo. And so, but then at the same time you kind of look at it, it's like, Mom, why are you even buying these supplies? Save your money. I don't need this, that, and the other thing, because it's not going to be put to good use.
Yeah.
Didn't you tell me that after you graduated you still had 3 or 4 textbooks and
yeah,
100%.
And they charge you for those?
I didn't get a bill.
Tight.
Oh, I'm sure your dad did.
My dad. Ugh. I was on the football team all 4 years, and I kept my varsity football helmet for my own collection, just to have as a nice souvenir. And it was brand new Revolution helmet and everything like that. And I was going to keep it forever and keep it on the mantle or something like that. And my dad found it and returned it to the school, unbeknownst to me. And I lit him up for it. I'm still kind of mad.
Yeah.
Because it's really, man? Really, dude? It's the only thing I had, to hang on to. It doesn't matter now. Yeah. But at the same time, it's man, what a betrayal.
Yeah, that's dark.
Ugh. But yeah, the textbooks and stuff, I don't know what ever happened to those. He probably took those back, too.
Yeah.
I didn't even care about those, obviously. I just wasn't a very good student, and so I was just whatever.
Greg, did you play sports in school?
No, I partied.
You partied?
Yeah.
So you did play sports in a certain sense.
Yeah.
With your life.
Yeah. Yeah, so junior, senior, well, no, mostly senior year, I would just show up enough to find out where the party was
Oh.
that weekend, and all the teachers liked me.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have to do anything.
That's good.
Because they would just keep me like at or above passing.
One teacher used to let me sleep in her class.
Nice.
Yeah, like no joke. Like
In
I'm
her
like, okay, I'm going to sleep, and she'd be like, okay.
In her class?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sketchy.
I went into my Spanish 2 final with like a 45% in the class, and I probably got like 13 out of 50 right on that test, and got a C+.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You just walk in, you're like, K?
Yeah.
See, I learned something
No habla.
here.
It's actually Espanol, by the way. This is a Hispanic household, and I will have you say it right.
No.
I actually got through high school. I hope no one from the school district is listening to this. I actually got through high school, got my diploma without a foreign language.
Do you think they'll take your diploma back if they
They
find
could.
out?
They'll have to pry it from my cold dead fingers.
Jenna calls you in her office and she's like,
like-
listen, we've been...
We received a call from the state.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I seriously, like, I didn't take Spanish. I
You're
didn't
like
take
Happy Gilmore,
French.
too.
I took English, and that just shows the kind of institutional racism that's in the school districts
They
these
just
days.
assumed.
They just assumed.
Yeah.
Like, wow, his English is real good. Thanks. Very good.
When I was in 7th grade, there was a family that moved up from Mexico. Now in today's day and I guess the social aspect of it, I'm not really sure why they moved up here from Mexico, but
Yeah.
literally didn't speak any English, any at all, and the kid would just hang out in the Spanish classroom all day long. Like, I'm
Kinda
like,
sad,
what
actually.
kind,
Yeah,
like,
it's
well, yeah, and he was always kind of like not really confused, but like you could just tell he would just like wander around. He didn't know where he was going. He didn't know where he was supposed to be.
That's awful.
Like, yeah, and he would just like be in the Spanish class. And now that I'm thinking about it, probably like sophomore year, I don't know where he went. Like, kind of like, you know how there's these kids
Yeah.
that like just like, you're like, well, I've seen you for like middle school and like freshman year, and where'd you go?
Well, by that point, I'm sure he found one of the Mexican restaurants in town. And it's like, oh.
He's at Adelano's right now.
Yeah, there you go.
He found his second home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sad though. Well, can you imagine being a kid like going from America to like Mexico or China or something like
Oh, yeah.
that, like as a foreign exchange student?
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, that would be really hard.
I probably would have done better because no one would have wanted to like talk. You know, I wouldn't be able to socialize.
Yeah.
Damn it.
You would have still tried. I know you well enough. to, like,
Cheng Zhao Ting Tai Po.
You're just doing a lot of hand gestures.
Yeah. A lot of whoopee cushion stuff, yeah.
That's awesome.
No, but as I got older, I liked going back to school just because it was, you know, you got to see all your friends and
The
stuff like
social
that.
aspect, yeah.
Yeah, but like when I was a little kid, no thanks.
Oh my gosh, like I remember getting your locker and
Ugh.
like making sure like all our friends' lockers were right next to each other.
I already know she kept her locker stupid organized.
Oh.
Was your locker
Mine
just
was
a
a
cesspool?
shit.
Oh yeah. I would put stuff down at the bottom of the locker day one, like school like September or whatever. It wouldn't come out until
Your syllabus?
my what?
Your syllabus?
Seriously, everything. At the bottom of the locker, all like mangled up and
I
like
remember-
malformed.
I
I used to
remember
put like
opening-
food back there, like snacks and like an old sandwich.
Oh.
Seriously, my locker was like a hazard to your health.
I remember opening my locker once and a packet of ranch spilled over like everything in there, and I was like, well, hope I don't need any of that. And I never went back. I'm not joking.
Never
I didn't
went
go back until it was the day to clean out your locker.
No,
And that was
honestly.
in
Oh,
like
I
December.
Yeah, no, mine. I had very similar locker
Mhm.
tendencies because I didn't care,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, those smell weird after gym class. Whoop,
Oh.
right in there. Yep, it was
Make me
great.
sick.
But your locker, I guarantee, was like.
Oh yeah, you better believe it.
Pristine, all organized.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have like the fun little like?
I actually didn't.
Shelves.
Yeah, I didn't get into the locker organizers too much, but I think I did have one of those magnetic like pencil holders in my
Nice.
locker.
Nice.
She's seriously like.
Yeah.
She was student body president.
Nice.
Yeah. I liked school. I was always into all that stuff, but I think it was all like the social aspect too. But I'm too type A to like not do well in school, so it was like almost like, well, I have to do this and
Yeah.
I have to do that, but
Other than Spanish, I would just crush like the finals.
yeah.
I
And that would like catch you up.
Yeah. Well, and, like the teachers all liked me enough that they didn't care that I didn't do the homework. 'Cause they knew that I knew what I was doing. I just didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
So like algebra 2.
You got all the way up to algebra.
My teacher kept me at like a 59.4 the whole semester, and I came in on the last day, and I missed 86 periods.
The Cohol?
Edwards.
Oh yeah, Edwards, yeah.
I missed 86 periods, and I showed up for the
Jesus
final.
Christ.
I showed up for the final, and this girl's like, "Why are you here?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "What do you mean, man? We got a test." She's like, "You can't pass."
Isn't that like 86 days?
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeez.
And I was like, "Hey, how about you shut your fucking mouth?" And then I got like an 87% on that final, which put me up to a D.
Hey,
There you go.
that's pass.
That's a credit.
There you
Bingo,
go.
got him.
Do you ever remember having to like make sure you were home and got to the phone before your parents did if you like skipped a class or something like that, because they would have that automatic recording that would call your house?
No, my
They have that?
parents just assumed it was gonna happen.
No,
I
really?
honestly didn't
My
know they had
my
that.
mom worked in the school district too, and
Did you know my dad?
no,
Maybe.
why are your lights flickering?
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you hear some chains rattling, don't worry about it.
I used to like I'd go in the office and be like, "Hey, I don't feel good. I'm gonna take off."
That's what you'd say?
Yeah.
That's usually what a sick person says.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they got a new secretary, and I remember going in, and I told her that, and she's like, "Have you seen the nurse?" And I was like, "Listen, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and go."
I'm gonna say no to that.
And then she like found out who my mom was, and they were friends. Skip to 2 years later, she's drinking with me and my friends in the backyard.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
let's not name names. We
Yeah,
don't
I
want any rape allegations out
Jesus,
there.
that's a big word.
Well, okay, yeah. Sorry, everybody. Grape
Yeah.
allegations. Usually you have lemon lime at these kind of parties.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is I used to try and get it in the mail with a progress report.
I would do that.
Dude,
Yep. And then they put it all online. Fucking snakes.
mine was always paper.
Yeah, it wasn't until after
And
we
I,
got
and I would be like, I'll get the mail.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then my parents talked to my teachers like, we haven't received a progress report in like months. Weird. Don't know what that's about.
like
but
they
that,
never put two and two together.
No, well, they did eventually. But this was back, even in like middle school when they used to mail the progress reports.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I used to, because it's illegal to open up mail that's like not yours, like federally illegal. And so I was like naive enough to be like, oh boy, I'm breaking the law. They're going to send me to jail or something like that.
Yeah.
You still won't open my mail, like stuff that comes in the mail that has my name
Because
on
that'd
it.
be rude.
Really?
Not because I'm afraid to go to jail.
Oh, okay.
Here's a good question. When's the first time you ever really rode the lightning and tore off the tag on your pillow?
Do you know that that's a misconception? You're just not supposed to take the tag off your pillow or your mattress until you've purchased the item.
Or resell it.
What? Who resells a pillow?
I'm just saying. People do. I'm just
Well,
saying.
The
growing
real
up, I used
question
to
is
see-
who buys it.
Ugh.
Growing up, I used to see that the tag said, do
Yeah.
not remove this
Yeah,
tag.
under penalty of.
Yeah, and finally it was like
And then
messing
you
with my arm or
you
something like
finally
that.
didn't read what it.
No,
you
I
never
was like
read
I was
what
like
it
in
said.
6th grade. I was like, oh man, it's just really bugging me. And seriously, I hid it like under my mattress.
Yeah.
Like I
Do
was
you
like,
notice that-
Terrified.
yeah, like I didn't know it was gonna happen.
That's so
like, are my
funny.
parents gonna like bring me to the jailhouse tomorrow? Like, yeah,
He ripped a
he
tag.
did it. Seriously.
To juvie you go.
Yeah, it's a very like stern warning.
I remember-
to have 'em.
This is kind of related. I remember being in Target, and they used to have like the video game setups, where you could like try them.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked down, and there's a pack of baseball cards on the ground. I was like, oh, free baseball cards. So I like open it up, and I'm looking through them, and I remember like some of them. I was like, oh, that's super cool. And then it like clicked that these aren't just lost baseball cards. Like this is this is still the stores, and they're just on the ground, and I just stole these. So then I like had a panic attack and like hid it behind some detergent.
There you go.
How many weeks ago was this?
3.
I remember one time my sister and I, it was in Target as well, and for whatever reason we thought it would be a good idea to take a small stuffed animal, because everywhere I went when I was younger I took like a blanket or a stuffed animal with me, to throw it over the aisle into the next aisle.
Nice.
And like the top aisle divider, and I don't remember who it was, but one of them didn't make it, and it knocked over like a soap dispenser or something, or broke, or something like that, and it broke, and my mom made us pick it up and bring it to customer service and tell them
Wow.
that like we broke it.
Good job, Peggy.
That's a good move.
I'll give you one guess at my reaction to having to do
Guaranteed. Yeah?
Yep.
100%. Just blubbering.
Yep.
You remember they used to have like the circular clothes racks?
Yes.
So I was trying to hide in one, and I was gonna jump out and scare my
Dude,
mom.
that used to be the fucking
It was the best. It was the best.
When you were still fucking
Yeah.
small enough to
Yeah.
like not
Yeah.
be seen. Oh
Yeah.
man, that
I
was
loved
the
it.
best. It was
And
you're
it's-
closed in on all sides.
Especially if it was something big like coats or something
Oh,
like
Oh
that.
man, just like Narnia,
Oh, yeah.
just in your own little world.
So like I go in there, and then I like trip and fall, and like it kind of hurt myself, and so I like yell.
I'm bleeding.
And this
everywhere.
lady like opens it up, and it's like a lady that works for Target, and she like grabs my arm, and I just like shriek because I think she's trying to kidnap me.
So good. Oh man.
Have I ever told you like I wasn't scared of getting kidnapped. I was convinced I was just waiting for it to happen.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like,
At what age?
3 through 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I'll.
Did you ever watch that movie Ransom?
I don't think so.
That's what it's about. Mel Gibson, like his son gets stolen.
Mm.
Yeah. So maybe you saw that.
I'll never forget. My mom went to it was like a Bible bookstore on Appleway, like across from where Winco is now.
Yeah. Christian supply store.
Yeah, and she went inside, and I stayed in the car, and I had her lock the door so nobody could take me, and
So this is like an ongoing thing.
Oh yeah.
Mom, make sure you lock the door.
Yeah, I open the door, and the alarm goes off, and I'm like, oh no, and then I close the door. I'm like, oh, no worries, she'll be out any second, because the alarm's going off because someone's trying to steal me. And I remember, so just like picture like 7-year-old me sitting in the front seat with just like a dead face for 15 minutes.
Great response time, Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so mad.
Oh, man.
God, she got back, and I was like, I could have been gone forever. What would you have done?
Oh my god, I'm picturing it.
I
It's
was
amazing.
very.
You probably
very
annoyed the shit out of her though every
Probably.
time.
Did I
Like, all
tell
right, I'll
you-
be back, Gregory, or whatever. And it was, Mom, lock the door. And she like locked the door, and then on her way in, wherever she was going, she's like, I wish I could unlock that door.
Did I ever tell you about when I thought I was on my own when I was 4?
No.
Forever. So I woke up at like.
A Home
5
Alone kind of a situation?
Yeah, I woke up at like 5:30 in the morning, and nobody's there. And we used to live at Kid Island Bay, like right on the lake. So I go out, and it's December, so it's dark as shit. Dad's gone, Mom's gone, sister's gone. It's just me and my dog Rusty. And I'll never forget, I put my hand on his head. I was like, well, Rusty, it's just you and me now.
You're like, I should probably go get my Talkman or what was that thing?
Yeah, Talkman, yeah.
So actually, my thought was, well, I'm gonna have to eat. So I grabbed,
Sorry, Rusty.
I grabbed a couple Pop-Tarts and threw them in the microwave for 30 minutes. My mom got home and they
Oh,
were
man.
smoking. They were black.
Oh no.
Yeah, she walked my sister to the bus stop, so I assumed that I was on my own forever.
God, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's hysterical.
Sorry, Rusty.
Yeah.
It's only be one of us.
Just goes after a leg.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's classic.
I never thought I was alone, but I did run away from home a couple of times.
I did too.
And by
That
run away
same
from
house.
home, I mean like to the neighbors' like
Yeah.
bushes.
So I got a couple more funny Kid Island stories.
By
So
all means.
the first time I'm gonna run away, I made it to the there. So when you walked in the house, there was a bathroom right there. It had like pink tile. The thing was awful. So the first time I ran away, I made it to that bathroom and I fell asleep on the floor. And I woke up and there's a spider by my face.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, Mom. And then so didn't make it out that time. Second time, made it outside and I saw a stick sticking out of the snow. It's like, well, I'm gonna need a walking stick for my trek.
Of course.
And I just grab it full force, and there's a nail on the other side, right in my hand.
Jeez.
Didn't run away, but was mad at my parents, same house, and this is dark. I was 3 or 4, and so I took a toothpick and put it in the carpet, sticking up.
Home Alone style?
Oh my
Damn,
gosh.
that is
And,
dark.
That's vindictive.
Yeah.
Are we the
and-
first people you ever told that?
No, they know.
They know.
And then
Yeah, there's scars on their soles of their feet. Tell
Well,
the story.
so I
Oh.
don't know if you've heard of karma, but
Oh.
so I got over it, and my dad set up this like train set, and I was like running around the train set, Bam!
Oh.
Right on the toothpick.
What are the odds?
So much blood.
Ugh.
I mean, you deserved it.
Yeah, I did.
Who does that?
Yeah.
Ugh. I never
Especially
set up
when
any
you're
traps.
3 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found out about if somebody cheating, like a person cheating on their spouse, I found out what that was when I was 5 or 6, and I told my parents that I would stab them if they ever did that.
How did you find out what that was?
Because my sister's 7 years older than me.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Huh. So she was like,
we
guess
were
what,
we were
Greg?
on our way to Montana for a family vacation, and she said, "If you guys have an affair, I'm going with Mom."
That
Yeah,
out
it's
the
oh,
driveway.
what a
she
great
just
way to
brings it
start
up.
this trip.
Jesus.
Not exactly your picturesque road trip there.
Yeah. I was never a I'm gonna run
We
away
moved.
from home type of person. I was like, I'm just gonna hide somewhere and not make a sound and
Not strong enough.
Like,
Technically, that
see-
is running away from home.
is
You want to
it?
make them think you're running away from home, but you don't actually
You want
want
to
to
put
do
the
it.
fear in them.
Yeah, but then they would never time at that age was always kind of bigger in my head.
Yeah.
So it's it felt like I was there for hours and it was probably 30 minutes and they had no idea what I was doing. And I don't think even today, now that we have a kid, I'm always what's he doing? What's he doing? He doesn't have enough freedom because he's still too little to just let him do his own thing.
Why'd you look at Greg when you said that?
Just stupid. Accusations. But I honestly don't remember my parents ever coming into my room just checking to see what you're doing. It's they were just oh, what the hell?
Oh God, that happened to me all the time.
Really?
Really? Well, you were the one that pooped in your toy box.
Well, I guess I know what I'm talking about. So, buckle your seatbelts on this one. Man, I wasn't even thinking about that. Okay, so I must have been 2 or 3, but I remember it still to this day, and I was just playing alone in my room, and my parents were watching a movie. I want to say Antonio Banderas was in it, but anyway,
Okay.
they were watching. It was a split-level house, and so they were all down there watching the movie, and I was just just in my diaper and at the top of the stairs, and I was looking at him, and I just really had to poop, so I just squeezed this poop out. And it was weighty enough to as this is all just a true story. As I pooped, my diaper, it weighted my diaper down to my ankles. It pulled my diaper down it was that heavy, and I was like, oh no. And so I was like, oh no, what do I do? Because they were watching the TV and they didn't see me at the top of the stairs, and so I kind of waddled back into my room, and I wrangled this turd out of my diaper like a salmon. I had just caught it and I was posing for a picture with it, and I was like, oh God, what do I do? I lifted up I had an old school wooden toy box with the lid on it.
Oh yeah.
Lifted it up, just ditched it right in there, and I pulled my diaper back up, and then I just closed it and just went about my business. I must have totally forgot about it. And then my dad found it it might have been that day, it might have been a day or two later, and he was like, holy shit, what the fuck? All the shit got on my Tonka trucks and all my toys and stuff.
You just throw it all away?
Yeah, he had to clean it, not me. I was a baby, whatever. But I still, it's might be one of my earliest, if not my earliest memory. Oh yeah, and I just wrangled her out, and just catch and release.
So for that moment on, every 5 minutes, Matt, what are you doing?
Yeah. So they've been popping there. But honestly, even when I was in middle school and high school, the door would just fly open. What are you up to? What are you doing? I'm just well, geez. It's a miracle I never got caught doing anything nefarious.
Oh.
Yeah.
I never really hung out in my room, to be fair.
I loved hanging out in my room.
Me too.
We always had a
video
family
games.
room and a living room, so I could play video games or whatever in whatever the other one was.
Mm-hmm.
And my room was just where I slept.
Nah, dog, my room was my castle.
Yeah, same here.
Never
Did you have a
for me.
TV in your room?
Not.
Loser!
Alright.
Didn't know we were letting poor people on this podcast. Dude, my room was my sanctuary. That's all I had. Because,
Yeah.
you had one older sister, right?
Yeah. So I have 2 sisters, but the oldest one
Lived with you.
No, the oldest one lived in California.
Oh, okay. So I had 2 sisters.
Mhm.
So all of our rooms,
Yeah.
the family room and the kitchen and the dining room and all this other stuff, that was whatever, community space. But when it's time to go to your room, it's all right, I need my own time. And my parents were really cool about that. It's okay, whatever, go to your room and do whatever. So I would play video games, dog. My room was my my life.
Me too.
I remember playing Final Fantasy VIII in my room when I lived on 3rd Street, and I couldn't find something. I got so mad that I punched the TV.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, I was probably like 8. I had some problems when I was younger.
Yeah, when you were younger.
I worked it out.
That's good. That's good. Working through those things is always nice.
Yeah.
No, I would always be very anxious when friends would come over for sleepovers because I was very like everything has its place and it stays in that place, and I didn't want them touching my stuff.
Nice.
Like,
So you were a bad sharer.
Yeah. That's my name.
No, not like that I didn't know how to share. I just didn't like the whole picking, oh, what's this? And then just putting it somewhere else, you know, like.
Monster.
Because I used to have a lot of little figurines. And like
What were these figurines?
They were Disney characters.
Yeah, okay, I can get behind that.
They're porcelain little figurines that are Disney characters, and they were always grouped by their movies. Like, so I had 101 Dalmatian ones. So I had Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and they were all together. And so like I would get really annoyed when friends would come over and they would just like move stuff around. And so I don't know, like, because my room was my sanctuary, like Matt would say. And then I got into this really big NSYNC phase.
Nice.
Started in 6th grade, and then do you remember like those Tiger Beat and Pop magazines and stuff like that?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. So I would take the pages out of those because they're all like posters and stuff. Covered the walls. Like, looking back at it now, it's like pretty insane that like my parents even let me do it, but I think I didn't really give them a choice. Like, it was like in my head it was like, this is what I'm gonna do. Literally posters on the ceiling, posters all over the walls, every inch of the wall covered in posters. And then I had books, and I had like all of this like NSYNC stuff. Like, it was insane.
My rooms might as well have been like a prison cell with a comfortable bed because I just had nothing in there.
Really?
Yeah, from like all through elementary school, middle school, nothing in there. I think it might have been 8th grade. I won a Tupac picture at the fair, and it had his "In the Event of My Demise" poem on it, and then I hung that in my room, and then that was it, like all through high school.
The only thing.
Yeah.
Really? Like all through high school, you had like one poster on your wall.
It was grim in there.
What was it?
I had I had nothing on my walls, like elementary school until maybe like 8th grade when I won a Tupac picture at the fair.
Dude, I had a Tupac poster too.
But it was like 8 by 10.
Oh. And
it had his "In the Event of My Demise" poem on it, and I hung that like in the wall facing my bed. And that was it. That was the only thing in my room.
That's some serial killer shit.
Yeah.
But again, what's with the poor people like on the podcast?
One poster. I was just never in there.
Well, yeah, okay, that's right. I had posters galore, including a huge Tupac poster in the clouds. This is after he was dead. And it said like Thug Life, you know, he had all his tattoos and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool.
Didn't you have a swimsuit or naked lady poster too?
Nice.
Behind my door. So anyone who was opening said door would not be able to see.
Yeah.
But it was found.
It was found and torn down. It was a good poster.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Probably went through a lot, huh?
Well.
We won't go there.
I just remember my mom was disgusted when she found it.
Yeah.
Among other things. But that's just what a teenage boy does, you know what I'm saying?
I remember my sister once, like she won a picture of like a Harley at the fair and gave it to me, and it's like, "Happy late birthday."
Your birthday's in December?
Yeah, my birthday's in December.
Dude, what's the lamest birthday present you've ever gotten? Was that it?
Probably that, yeah.
Dog, I got a birthday present in like 2003, so like when I was a sophomore, from one of my sister's friends, and it was like a DVD of like some like 1930s like comedy movies, and I'm like, ha ha ha, what a good one.
I'm gonna guess it was one of Sarah's friends.
No.
No.
And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, this is a joke, right? And she's like, no, that's the gift. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, you know, trying to be nice. It was the worst gift of all time. I was like, really? Anyway, I just got like fired up a little bit about it.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, really? Like, I'm friggin' like 15. You're gonna give me some friggin' Oral and Hardy or whatever the hell?
Laurel,
not
Oral.
Laurel and Hardy.
Maybe I should have
That's probably something.
Maybe I should have given it a watch. Damn it. Maybe she was doing me a favor.
Yeah, she's like, really? You don't like this? Jesus Christ.
Oops.
You guys know about the birthday party I had that my mom made invitations for, and I wrote what I wanted for my birthday on them after she made them?
Oh, did she know that?
She sure didn't. Definitely wouldn't have let me take them to school because on every one of them I wrote, "I want money!" exclamation point.
That's amazing.
And she was so mad.
What age?
7th grade.
Was she just like embarrassed?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's hilarious.
And it worked perfectly.
Did it?
Did you get money?
Oh, hell yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Hey,
Everyone,
people follow directions.
Honestly though, when people get like, oh, what does he want for his birthday? Money. Perfect.
Yeah.
Like us as adults.
Yeah.
If you just tell me like, oh, they just want money. Okay,
well,
awesome.
sometimes you get those people and they're like, that's not a gift.
Oh, I
Screw
know.
those
Gift
people.
It's
cards.
like, listen to me.
Not a gift. You
Yeah.
can go buy whatever the hell you want with that.
Exactly. That's the best gift.
Yeah, you want to go buy dinner?
You
Go
don't
buy
have to
dinner.
go to the store and spend time looking at stuff because
Exactly.
I will do that
Yeah.
and get something I actually want.
Now that
Like
being
a
said,
gift card to the world, please.
if they're 10 and under, I think you do have to buy them a toy. Because, I mean, when you unwrap a toy as a kid, I think it's pretty magical. It's kind of fun.
Oh, yeah.
But honestly, 10 and over, when you're like hitting that age where you're going to the movie theater and the mall
Yeah.
and all this other stuff,
Yeah.
just throw me a 50.
Man.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
A 50, that's
steep.
Did you guys not get 50s?
No.
not from friends.
Oh, not from like friends.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, I'm talking about from anybody.
Oh,
Yeah, I noticed you didn't get me anything on my birthday.
I was there.
But speaking of your birthday's in the summer. It's in July, and so was it always hard to get your friends from like school together for
No.
your birthday? Because
Nope.
like,
I always had friends around.
really,
Mhm.
that's good. Because that's
Like
one.
2 or...
That one friend.
Listen,
And
just
then there was the
because-
one that not everybody could see.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. I think there's a lot of jealousy going on right here because I had the perfect setup. You get Christmas presents in December. Fast forward 7 months, you get a birthday present. Then you fast forward 5 months, and then you get another Christmas present. Perfect. Twice a year, like clockwork. I feel bad for you two and anyone else with a winter birthday because it's like, oh, have you ever heard of those people that have like their birthday is on Christmas Eve or
That
like,
would
on
suck.
Christmas?
That's garbage.
That
Yeah,
would
that would be
my
awful.
birthday,
suck.
my birthday is just early enough that it
Just
works out.
early enough.
Yeah.
But
But
your
all the
whole
time,
year.
all the time, my mom's like, "Oh, we should have told you you were born in June."
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
But your whole year was like, oh well, December is gonna be a big month,
See, the
rather
way-
than
Well, in
like,
December, after all the cool games came out, all the new movies are out.
well I know that,
Yeah.
but then you hit January and it's like, well,
Oh yeah. then
11
it's
months
just
to
11
something.
Well, it's like 5 months of depression and then
Yeah.
summer, and then summer break.
Then the countdown
Full circle.
Yeah.
Hey,
See, but
and
for-
back to school.
But growing up for
Yeah.
me, it was okay. Christmas is over, but then it's like, okay,
See, I liked
summer will
it.
be here anytime.
My birthday's at the end of January, and I liked it because it's like Christmas. Maybe you didn't get everything that you wanted, and so I could be like, okay, there's one thing
Round
I really
two.
wanted. Yeah.
That's
So
good.
get me this for my
Mhm.
birthday because that's what I really want, and I didn't already just get it, kind of thing.
I just feel like if you have a summer birthday, it's the perfect loop.
No.
I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But
Like how I just think, and you're like, nope,
That's
that's wrong.
Yeah.
Your opinion is stupid.
That's kind of how our whole relationship started. I let you know that one of my favorite things to do is tell people that their opinions are wrong.
I just thought that maybe we'd move past that. No.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
There's a quarrel.
That's what you get for thinking,
A
huh?
Quirrell. Like Professor Quirrell,
Yeah.
Mm.
There you go.
right? Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I wish I was younger when Harry Potter came out.
Really, I
was.
feel like we were the perfect age because, you
You're
know,
absolutely right, actually.
you know, like when you get into bands and stuff like that, like when I was like really into like NSYNC, I was like,
Oh, bands.
Lance is gonna be my boyfriend, but then like when you really do the
That's
math,
bad
you're
news
like,
for you.
I know that was devastating.
I'm sorry.
That was very devastating.
Well, didn't he come out while we were married,
I don't know.
or at least
No.
She
together?
can still have dreams.
Exactly.
She like stays in bed all weekend.
I'm like, I gotta call into work. But then like you do the math and you're like, okay, I'm really too young to actually date him, kind of thing.
Mm.
But then like in Harry Potter, like you could always, as the books were coming out, we were that age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
What
was
is
Well,
Hermione?
what's a book?
what's a book?
Movies. I'm much more of a movie person than
We
a
know.
book person.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Hey, speaking of books,
Have I told you my book plan yet?
have you cracked the spine on the one that I let you borrow 8 months ago?
Yeah. I read like the first chapter.
Mm.
It's upstairs if you want it back.
Mm.
Hmm.
You could always read it.
Nah.
That would imply that he knows how to read.
Oh.
This is fun. But no, as the Harry Potter movies came out, I thought that was perfect because the first one came out when we were in what, 9th grade?
What? No, absolutely not.
Yeah, that's not right.
The first one was on VHS.
No, it came out in 2001. 100%. Bet me money right now.
Yeah,
2001, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
I don't believe you.
It did.
Because the fourth one came, well, maybe.
I'm positive.
He might actually be right.
I'm very right. I can't wait to look at your face when you see it. You see it, don't you?
The Philosopher's Stone?
Yes, November 2001. Yeah, totally right. Anyway.
Yeah, that is right.
So 9th.
Sorry, I also forgot that you're old as shit. So.
You're 4 years younger than me.
Yeah, so I was in like 5th grade.
Okay, fine. So boom.
So you were actually closer to Harry Potter's age than we were.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess he was. Anyway, my point is, they started off all like kid friendly and whatever, and then they got darker and darker and darker and darker and darker, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, Hermione's side boob.
Yep.
Oh jeez.
What? It's true.
Yeah. Well, and then follow JK on Twitter. Hermione's now black.
What?
No way.
Oh, she said that you never didn't hear about this?
No.
Hermione.
She said that she never said that Hermione was white.
Oh, for God's sake.
And that she has crinkly hair.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. But then
hair.
there's like somebody found a page in like the first book talking about how pale her face is. And
Oh,
like,
really?
okay, you dumb bitch.
Jeez, she's just trying to be controversial,
Oh, yeah.
like 24/7. The first time I ever got into Harry Potter was the books, and it was my 7th grade English teacher, Mr. Potts.
Nice.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, that is kind of interesting. And he was the one that would read them in school to us.
That's
And
cool.
I got into it, and then I got the set of 3 books at Costco in Spokane before there was a Costco in Coeur d'Alene, and like just read through those suckers like
Oh yeah.
nobody's business. We went out to dinner somewhere in Spokane because it used to be when you had to go to Spokane to go to Costco, it was like a whole day trip, like, and you would go like maybe once a month or every other month, and so we would go out to dinner in Spokane too because it's like, you know, there's not much to same over here as there, and then I just read, like I just sat at the table and read
That's
the book.
awesome.
Yeah.
You guys remember AR points
Yes.
in school?
Oh yeah.
What are-
Garbage.
Reading points.
Because I would, like, in 5th grade, I'm reading Lord of the Rings books. It's going to take me some time. I'm 10 years old.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you don't have enough AR points. You can't go to recess.
Ugh.
It's like, listen here, motherfucker. I'm reading 14 pages about how pretty these mountains are.
Maybe that's why you couldn't go to recess. Because he said, listen to your motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. Do you remember the Pizza Hut Club or whatever that was with the
fuck
reading?
yeah.
Ugh.
Pizza Hut Club.
Yeah, and you get the personal pan pizza.
Oh, if you
free.
read enough?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was shocking. Matt has no idea what we're talking about.
Here's the deal, okay? I just didn't like reading. I still kind of, the only reading that I can really do right now is gaming or Game of Thrones and like some Zelda books and stuff like that. I'd much rather see it on the big screen.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm reading Game of Thrones is because I got into it when it was on TV.
Yeah.
And then I can because my problem is it's like, oh, like, okay, whenever we left the Harry Potter movie, people would be like, oh, the book was so much better.
Yeah.
Screw you. Why are you putting that negativity on an awesome movie?
Yeah.
And so, plus I don't want to have my own imagined view of you know when the whatchamacallit, 50 Shades of Grey came out?
Yeah.
And all those women were super mad because it's not my whatever.
Christian, yeah.
It's not my Christian. It's not one that I pictured in my head. It's like, okay, so you just ruined the movie for yourself.
Yeah.
So why do that? I don't know. That's just my.
You know, people, like when those movies first came out, they couldn't send mail. Like, you know, like when you're in a movie and like the usher will come in and check the doors.
Oh yeah.
They would have to send girls because they'd send a mail in and the old ladies were like catcalling him.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
That's really.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's, no.
Nothing creepy about that at all.
I find it creepy.
Not if you're the guy.
Well.
He walks in with just his little bow tie on.
I don't know if
Well,
you-
they're like 16.
I was gonna say.
You just said old ladies. Oh, the boys.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Eh. Well, no, but yeah, those ladies are gross. Ladies are nasty. Let's see what else. So, school stories. So, what was the most embarrassed you've ever been in school?
Oh, can I take this? I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, I mean, we're all gonna take it, but yeah, you can go
I'll
first.
start. It had to do with school, but it wasn't in the school, because you know how fall sports started before school started. So there was soccer practice and football practice and all that stuff before school started.
In August.
Yeah, the end of August. It would only be 2 or 3 weeks like before school. And they would do the sports pictures during one of those practices.
Mm-hmm.
So very rarely were all 4 soccer teams there together, the JV girls, varsity girls, JV boys, varsity boys. But it was picture day, so everybody was practicing at the same time. And so this was sophomore year. I was on JV, and we were taking our picture, and so the varsity girls were practicing, and then the JV boys were practicing on the other field. So the varsity boys were doing, those train laps where you run in a line and the person at the back has to run up to the front.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing that around both soccer fields. Well, I got done with my picture, and I was going back to my stuff, and the boys' varsity soccer team was running towards me. So I was like, maybe I'll just like kind of pick up and do a little jog by them, like just to get by them and kind of try to look cool. Well, in doing so, those electrical boxes that are in the ground, so they have the plastic cover on it, was like jogging, stepped into the electrical box, like not into the hole, but just like it's down from the grass, fell, like totally tripped over my own 2 feet, and like
right in front of them.
Literally could not have been more right in front of them, and there was like there was audible like laugh stuff.
So you're trying to look all hot and like cool or whatever.
God, it was literally the worst. Still just get embarrassed thinking about it.
You are blushing right now.
I feel like I know yours.
What is it?
Speech.
Yeah. That's funny. I've told these a lot. So I was in speech class in junior year. And I don't care if she ever hears this or not. My speech teacher was a fucking bitch, and she like really, she like picked on me a lot. Like not like whatever, but like she like what's the word? Like singled me out.
Yeah.
And all my friends saw it, and for no reason. And she was just she sucked. Anyway, so I won't use names, but she knows who she is. So this one day, I'm wearing a t-shirt and my sweatpants. For a speech that's coming up, and my some other girl's speaking, and she's a pretty girl, and so I get.
Oh no! I don't think I ever heard that part.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm like 17 years old, so yeah, let's just take this for what it is. Anyway, so I get a little excited, and that's fun. It's fun to say in front of everyone. And so I don't know if like she knew or anything like that, but like as soon as the girl was done, she's like, "Matt, you're next." I was like, "What?" And my friend Alex looked at me, and he knew too, and he was just like, "Oh my god." And I was like, can I wait? I'm still kind of putting. Nope, go on, get up there. And so I had to get up, and again I'm in sweatpants, and I had to get up, and there wasn't a lot. Literally, like as soon as I got up there to do this dumb little speech, it was like a 5-minute thing or whatever, but like no one was looking at my face, not one person.
There wasn't a podium?
No, this is just like freestanding, and because it was like all out in the open or whatever, I couldn't go 6 to midnight. Like I couldn't fix the problem.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that was fun. It was a fun time. It didn't. Needless to say, it didn't. What's the best word for it? It wasn't too. It wasn't there for long because I was just like so like embarrassed or whatever.
There you go.
Yeah, boners.
That's rough.
Yeah,
That
real
is
fun.
rough.
Real rough. Yeah, you want to talk real rough. Kidding me? Oh my God, he was in the front row and he could not. I thought he was gonna die laughing. Seriously, he was dying. He couldn't even breathe. And all these like my classmates and like the girls and stuff too. They're all just like. I'm just like looking. I'm just like, oh, this is great. This is a good time. Yeah.
Jeez.
Man, the one that jumped out to me immediately was in 5th grade. It was late November. It was snowing outside. We were in a cubicle. It was Mr. Teft's class, and I was looking. So all of our desks faced the front, and all the windows were behind us. So I was turned around, looking out the window, watching it snow, and there was a girl behind me named Brooke, and Mr. Teft like shouted my name, and I turned around. He's like, "You pay attention." I was like, "I am paying attention." He's like, "Why are you gazing at Brooke?" And everybody's like, "Ooh." And I was like, "I was watching the snow." And so obviously I'm still a little upset about it. And this dude was big on like he'd find the kid that was like obviously not paying attention and calling them to answer the question.
Mm-hmm.
So I made it my mission as often as possible to get the answer and then look like I was just absolutely fucking off. So he would call on me and I could make him look like a bitch.
How many times were you successful at that?
At least 8.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
So did you and Brooke ever get together?
Absolutely not.
Ooh.
Nice
So-
girl.
Yeah. With these embarrassing things, do you think that there are other people out there that like remember them as vividly as we
100%.
do?
I hope so.
Like,
I guarantee there's people that remember mine.
Alex,
Well,
I'm
my
sure.
story. Let me
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
be clear.
Oh my gosh. Because I know there's certain things, like, there's people that I haven't thought of in, like, years and years and years, but, like, I remember, like, horribly embarrassing things that happened to people in school.
Oh
Like,
God.
Oh, yeah.
like, the one kid that would that threw up at
Yep.
school or whatever, like, I will never forget that.
There's a girl named Ronnie, and she had red hair, and we were in elementary school, and I swear she was pushing 300.
Ooh.
She was
Elementary school?
large, yeah. And she sat on my friend's desk and had the wettest diarrhea.
I did not know where this was going. And this is horrifying.
Maybe ever.
Oh.
And he's scarred for life.
Oh, God.
She laughed because
What?
she was a garbage person.
I like felt bad for her, but she
Yeah.
laughed.
Yep.
Oh my god. So
yeah.
was she trying to fart and like just diarrhea?
Oh.
I think so.
Ooh.
I think so.
And he was sitting in his desk?
Sure was. Yeah. I
Oh,
don't think
that's-
anything got on him, but
oh,
like
that's
you saw the
awful.
spread and he
Oh.
just ran for the hills.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awful. Ugh.
There was another kid named Kenny, and he had really bad gas. So he had.
What school did you go to?
Bora Lions
Were they-
represent.
Were they just doing beans all day?
No, well, no, but
Jesus
the
Christ.
best part is that
How many poop
everybody,
stories can you have from
everybody
elementary
knew
school?
that he had gas problems, and he was always like really angry, and he was like, well, because he got picked on a lot, but he was like just lighting the classroom up.
Oh my
And
God.
the teacher's like, Kenny, do you need to take your pills?
Like his Beano or something?
Yeah.
That's
In front of the class.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
There was
This-
a kid like that in my 5th grade class that he would purposefully like fart all the time in class. So he had a desk like far away from everybody else. Like they literally like segregated him like to his own corner because they're like,
That's rough.
ugh.
That same kid in middle school, so years later, somebody came, he had a bottom locker and my friend had the top locker.
This is the gas problem
Yeah.
kid.
My friend
You
walks
know
up.
Kenny.
My friend walks up and he's like, "Hey, Kenny." And Kenny like stands up and he's got like his book bags, like his books, and like the pencil holder thing is on the bottom, and he like slams it. He's like, "Leave me alone!"
Oh.
And when he slams it, there's a liquid whiteout
Oh,
in his pencil
no.
thing, and it just explodes all over his
Oh
shit.
my God.
It's really good job, Kenny.
Oh,
You fucking idiot. Like the one time he stands
Yeah.
up for himself.
All the kid said was hi. He's like, "Hey,
Man.
Kenny."
And he just
Yeah, but that was
raged.
brewing.
Yeah.
That was totally brewing.
Yeah.
I feel bad. I mean, there's a lot of. I definitely wasn't like the nicest person in high school. I know you weren't either, Greg. So I look back on that more so and
Yeah.
look back and like, man, I was a real dick
Yep.
to that person.
Just broad shouldering through the halls.
Oh, I mean, that's
Yeah.
just when you're 16, especially
Yeah.
when you play like football or whatever. I mean, you know, it's not something you're proud of, but I mean, you were just kind
God,
of.
we'd walk and like my friends were such fucking douchebags, but we'd walk and one of them would like lunge at a kid.
Yeah, dude.
I remember one kid fucking went down.
Oh no, you'd
That's
lunge
so
at kids.
sad.
You'd just like knock their books down. Like we were those people. It was
Oh, my
bad.
I'll never. One of my friends, I've told you about him a bunch. Hunter. So he's a big dude. He's like, he's black belt, all kinds of. So we walk out of this class and we were seniors, and this like sophomore kid bumps into him, and he was having a bad day. And I'll never forget, the kid like keeps walking, and Hunter like sees red and grabs the kid's hood on his sweatshirt and like rips him backwards, catches him with one hand, and then just throws him into a locker.
Oh my goodness.
That's some Matrix stuff.
It was the shit.
Did you get in trouble?
No.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That
I
was
never-
my
I
old
never,
thing.
like,
I never
beat
got in
everyone.
trouble.
I never beat anybody up. The funniest thing I ever did though was there was this new freshman. It was like the 3rd week of school maybe. There was a freshman in the bathrooms by the commons, and it was just me and him in there.
Oh boy.
And I went.
Go to
there's
the
like,
ankles.
there's like 8 urinals. I pick the one right next to him. I'm a senior. He's a freshman. And I just drop it all the way to the ankles.
There
Go
you go.
full little boy pee. And I was just like, what's up, man? How you liking school? I mean, granted, I was taking a piss. I wasn't doing anything weird, but I mean, it was just like, you know,
Made him
he was like,
so uncomfortable.
oh my god, like.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
man.
Freshman year, they did powder puff football, and that was the last year that I was allowed to play powder puff football because my mom was worried that the aggression that I showed on the field didn't need to be something that I was like
Tapping into
regularly. It was that year there was at least 2 or 3 girls that broke or sprained their wrists. I got my hair pulled. Brenda, I think, got flung because, I mean, shocking. I was a offensive line person, and Brenda was the quarterback. And it was the freshmen against the juniors to start, I want to say. And so these junior girls were just trying to tear us up. We were pulling hair, scratching. It was pretty intense.
Chicks are brutal.
Yeah.
Way more brutal than guys.
I don't think we even had powder puff football again until my senior year, and my mom's like, "You're not allowed to do that." I'm like, ugh, I was so upset.
Remember Sharks and Minnows?
Yes. Oh, they don't do that anymore.
Nope.
And they won't.
Oh, no.
Do you ever do Sharks and Minnows?
I don't know what that is.
So Sharks and Minnows is the coolest game in freaking history of the world. So you take a gym class or a football team or whatever up into the wrestling room where it's all padded, and you do the floor is padded and the walls are padded and everything like that. And so the Sharks were on the floor, and they couldn't stand up, but they had to basically stay on the floor, hands and knees, and then they had to basically from there the Minnows would run across the room, and then when the Minnows ran across the room, you had to tackle people.
Oh, I think I do know that.
Oh god, it would be so hardcore. It would be
Yeah.
unbelievable, and people would legitimately be get hurt every single play or every single one,
Oh,
and the
totally.
last person to be alive or whatever was the victor.
That's crazy.
So, anyway, hi Bubs. So that was episode 2 of Triple Scoop. Again, we started at what? School supplies.
Just back to school supplies, and
Ended on Sharks and
fighting.
Minnows
Talking about
and speech boners.
my 4-year-old demons.
4-year.
Yeah.
So yes, join us next time for Triple Scoop. Thanks for listening.